It's kind of funny because, like, as much as Trump hates China, I'm pretty sure he likes Xi Jinping more than he likes Zelensky. I don't get what's funny. Yeah, Elon Musk is saving.
Currently, there's.
Anyway, Tim Pool met with Benjamin Netanyahu, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that fucking insane? Tim Pool, foreign agent of Russia, Tim Pool, is also a major glazer of Israel. Okay? He has kind of joked about being a glazer of Israel because he knows that in the space that he occupies, like, you can't really be openly and actively shoveling Israel's dick down your throat because people will say, especially in his audience, people will say, oh, you're like a Jewish Mossad agent. Or they'll say that, Mossad has blackmail on him or some shit because they're fucking stupid. So he can't openly be shoveling Israel's dick down his throat, but he will still do it regardless. Okay? And for Timothy Pool being pro-Israel, just like a fucking CNN anchor, has yielded tremendous benefit. Okay? Tim Pool, just like Asmongold, is a centrist, a liberal-aligned centrist, but the liberals got far too woke for his taste, that type of shit. You already know. You already know what that looks like. Asmongold's doing the same damn thing. Okay? But because he is not an actual centrist, no such thing really exists, and a Republican institutional defender, he's tweeting out shit like this. Israel derangement syndrome. I said, Tim Pool's an Israel writer. He's been cowardly on this issue from the jump. That paid off for him as he's now in the press pool talking to Netanyahu directly. Remember that next time you think about quote-unquote independent media. That's right. Tim Pool's a part of the White House press pool, ladies and gentlemen.
It's fake news about me. So last night I wasn't here. I got late word that I was invited to a private roundtable meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. It was under what's called Chatham House rules. For those that are not familiar, this means that you cannot reveal anybody who attended, nor attribute anything to any one individual, as they can deny it. However, what I love about what the White House is currently doing, when you bring together a bunch of influencers and podcasters who don't know much about journalism culture, whatever you want to call it, not that we respect it tremendously, most people didn't know what Chatham House meant. So.
Oh, he's mad. He's mad that the other people that were invited to the press pool outed Tim Pool for writing Benjamin Netanyahu. Bro, you shouldn't have throated him so hard. Is Tim going to say Israel's an enemy of the United States? Oh, no. He's going to say Hamas is an enemy of the United States. He's not. He's pro-Israel.
With all due respect, it's funny because they bring us into the Blair House, which is where Netanyahu was staying. And immediately people are walking around with their cameras, their phones up. They actually took our phones from us. And I legit thought they would maintain Chatham House rules, meaning you can't quote the prime minister, you can't quote his officials and the other people who are there, but you.
Dog, you're a journalist. What do you mean? Or you're not, but in this situation, you're portraying yourself as a journalist. There's no such thing. Like, there's no Chatham House rules when you're talking to a statesman of a foreign nation. Like, what?
You can report what was said generally. If you wanted an official quote on a specific matter, you would then ask an official once the meeting was wrapped.
Oh my God, he's literally, oh dude, this is like access journalism and Israel writing and direct access to a foreign leader. Tim Pool is literally CNN. Oh my God, Tim Pool is doing CNN.
Wrapped, and they'd provide you the exact quote, or they would just say outright, like, we ain't putting our quotes on that one. So the story that comes out, which basically violated whatever, I was going to talk about what we went there for a reason. This story from.
Oh my God, this video got 17,000 views. What the? It's good to support small content creators, though.
Jewish Insider says Netanyahu pushes back on anti-Israel trends in a meeting with podcasters. I don't know if the individual who wrote this, Lahav Harkov, was actually there, but this is wrong. It's fake news. And people are now spreading fake news about me because I'm going to go ahead and say as arrogantly as.
Oh my God. I'm reminded of the time when Tim Pool said, I fell off and I wanted to kill myself because I fell off and I was really sad. Remember that? Remember when the guy who's getting 17,000 views on his video was like, Hasan fell off and he wants to kill himself. Like, he did a video about me, about something that he misunderstood that I was joking about in jest in my own Discord.
As I can to everyone else who was there. I hope you all hear me, because I'm saying this somewhat facetiously. I think I was the only one that asked a real question. Now that I've pissed off all the other journalists and individuals who were there, most people were asking what I would describe as, I don't know, I felt like pretty obvious questions. Is there going to be a war with Iran? Do you think the nuclear talks are going to be good? The Trump is going to be talking with you. Will it work out for you? What's the concern? What's going on with your prime ministership or whatever? And you get these answers that I really felt like you could have just got a Fox News. You know, the prime minister is going to get asked about this stuff and he's going to say, I can't speak too much on the nuclear deals, blah, blah, blah. Considering this was Chatham House and it was expected whatever he said was going to come out, I didn't see anything really substantive. However, in the story, they say, Poole expressed concerns about increased anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism in the pro-Trump podcasting space, according to sources in the room. So they weren't there. Poole famously had Kanye West on his podcast, and the rapper walked out mid-interview after Poole pushed back against anti-Semitic comments. Responding to Poole, Netanyahu said that the reason he invited the group is to meet with him. To me? Poole argued that there is a Qatari op to manipulate social media algorithms to make anti-Semitic and anti-Israel.
Oh, so you weren't asking questions. You were just making shit up. You were just simply making stuff up, it seems. Making stuff up that the Israeli government would appreciate and enjoy. What is this?
Dude, I'm concerned with having American aircraft carriers over there. Like, what I keep being told about the USS Liberty. That's something with the Israeli government.
No, you should.
No. Wait.
You should be careful about that one.
Allegedly, the Israeli Air Force jet fighter aircraft.
I mean, they did end up paying out the American government.
So I'm concerned, like, false flag operation, like a missile comes out of Gaza and hits one of our aircraft carriers, but it was actually an Israeli missile. Well, I don't want. We should get out of there.
It doesn't. But let me stop you there. It doesn't matter whether.
You should be careful. No, it would be good if Israel did that. Actually, it would be good. Don't say that.
The missile comes from.
That's weird.
Dude, he's Mr. Rebel, dude. Thank God the voice of truth is out there, you know?
Israel episodes appear to receive far more views than, say, tips for picking up women in order to incentivize podcasters and YouTubers to produce more anti-Semitic content. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is the enemy of this country.
Oh, I love that.
Non-committal in his response, saying that's only possible. Fake news.
How dare you, Tim?
Absolute fake news. It's close to reality, but this is what they do, okay? First, the person who was there clearly wasn't there. Ask somebody who then conveyed incorrectly what I actually said. I said there has been a report released from pro-Israel sources alleging Qatar is funding bots and operations to promote anti-Israel content. Is there any evidence that's true? And he said, I don't know. It's possible. That's what happened. I did not say.
Do you see Zelensky lying about China being Ukraine? Oh my God, bro, just signed the mineral deal. Yeah. Oh, Zelensky. I did. I saw. He's like, yeah, these dudes, they look Chinese. Hey, yo, these dudes are Chinese, man. They're so Chinese looking. Bro, come on. Come on. Cut the shit, dude. Just put the minerals in the bag, bro. Oh, that's awesome. No, you don't understand. Yeah, the fucking they sent the Chinese brigades over there, the People's Liberation. They're there. They're fighting, dude. Certainly.
They actually were doing that, because I don't know that they're actually doing it. However, I did, to a variety of people, express.
Can you please provide context of what you're laughing about? Zelensky came out and was like, Mr. President, we found some Chinese in the front line. Mr. President, I am here to report that we found the Chinese. Zelensky, we captured 2 Chinese soldiers on Ukrainian territory. We have their documents, even credit cards. They're citizens of China. I believe the United States of America needs to pay more attention to what's happening today. Dude, come on, bro. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad for his situation. Okay, but come on, big dog. Come on, man.
Будемо вірити, що вони змінять свою позицію, особливо
It's kind of funny because, like, as much as Trump hates China, I'm pretty sure he likes Xi Jinping more than he likes Zelensky. I don't get what's funny. Because this is a desperate attempt to try to fucking be like, oh, no, you don't understand. China is actually also on Ukrainian soil invading Ukraine. That's it. To a guy who does not give a fuck about him. And quite literally, I mean, first of all, I don't believe this. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't fucking believe this at all. And secondly, even if they were Chinese nationals, the idea that they'd be anything but fucking mercenaries, even if we were to entertain that they are Chinese nationals, it's so clearly a desperate attempt to be like, Mr. President, please pay attention to Ukraine, which he literally says right here. He says right here. It seems it's something that we should be paying attention to. Chinese soldiers on Ukrainian territory. He's like, you see, you hate China, right? You want to do tariffs on China? What is this? Here's the video with them.
Boom, 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 boom. 然后我的 commander. Boom.
What the fuck is, what is this? What is this? What is happening here? What, BBC China? Is that?
invade.
中国政府始终要求任何形式，尤其应避免参加任何一方的军事行动。
There's a lot we don't know. We don't know if they.
He released a video of the interrogation, IDF style. This is an actor for sure, bro. The Russians don't make this much of a stink over Western countries' mercenaries fighting for Ukraine. No, because that's unstoppable. That's gonna happen. He's like, before Zelensky deleted and re-uploaded his video on Telegram, the file name was 0804 Korean Soldier 2 MP4. You have to get used to reading Mandarin. This is good training.
They are indeed Chinese, whether they're fighting.
That's noteworthy. I don't see why you're dismissing it so fast. Because I don't give a fuck. Because if you think that the Chinese government is actively sending Chinese troops to fucking Russia to go and fight in the front lines in Ukraine, you're insane. It's most likely, at most, if they're actually Chinese nationals, a fucking mercenary. Okay? That's why. Notice how I didn't say this about North Korean troops potentially being in Ukraine. And I said there is a likelihood that there might be North Korean troops in Ukraine, or at least inside of the Russian boundary, being utilized for internal defense or whatever the fuck. Whereas in this instance, I'm maintaining a more skeptical posture. China, that rarely ever engages in direct military conflict, is going to fuck up the bag for themselves all of a sudden for Russia's insane invasion of Ukraine. China, that is insanely restrained in its foreign policy, especially when it comes to using military force, is going to turn around and be like, yeah, we're sending a battalion. Yeah. The Chinese government now always asks Chinese nationals to stay away from areas of armed conflict. Lin Jian, spokesperson for the Chinese Foreign Office, spoke after 2 nationals were captured during fighting in Ukraine. There's no shot. It's most likely a fucking merc. And it's funny to me because Zelensky is saying this to be like, please pay attention to Ukraine. See, you hate China. You hate the Chinese. They're here. They're Chinese citizens. We caught them. And it's not going to fucking work. That's why I'm laughing. No, Xi sent those 2 guys specifically. I mean, I'm sure there's more. It's just not, it's not like an actual battalion that was sent by China at the behest of the Chinese government as like spec ops or anything like that. You forgot the Indochina War? Are you talking about the fucking border conflict where they use literal sticks and stones? That's what you're comparing this to? That proves the point that I'm making. They literally fight one another. They fight one another. What? You are a pathetic podcaster. He's the leader of a country where children are dying. I mean, I'm not a podcaster. I think I'm a pathetic Twitch streamer, not a pathetic podcaster. And also, secondly, I have a lot of sympathy for Zelensky. Okay? I don't think you care about that. Doesn't really matter. He is absolutely getting fucking destroyed by, on the one hand, an unjustifiable invasion of his country by Russia, and on the other hand, by Western coalition that seemingly does not care about what happens to those children that are dying. Okay. This I'm laughing at because it's not going to revitalize interest in Donald Trump.
Більш приділити увагу тому, що відбувається сьогодні, і нам є що говорити.
Zelensky, we expect that China is now another country that supports Russia's invasion of Ukraine after Iran and North Korea. It's kind of funny because China literally was more understanding of the Ukrainian position than Donald Trump has been. It's like, and also on top of that, to add insult to injury, I'm almost certain that Donald Trump literally likes Xi Jinping more than he likes Zelensky. Like Zelensky in Trump's mind, and I've said this time and time again, is lib shit, okay? He thinks Zelensky is Kamala Harris, but in Ukraine. He hates Zelensky. So I think this is an attempt that is going to fail. We expect that China is now another country that supports Russia's invasion of Ukraine after Iran and North Korea. But there's a difference. North Koreans fought against us on the Kursk front, while the Chinese are fighting on Ukrainian territory. We can't fight several countries from our land. We hope that after the situation, the Americans will talk more with Ukrainians first and only then with the Russians. We also hope the Chinese side will respond. Low key, he would get a better deal if he went to China directly instead of trying to. I mean, obviously, America would nuke Ukraine if they did that, but I'm serious. I feel like if he cut out the middleman and went straight to China instead of talking or trying to do anything with Russia, really, he could probably get better gains in this process. Anyway, yeah, this was from last month. China signals willingness to aid Ukraine's post-war reconstruction. Anyway, I don't know how the fuck we got the Chinese nationals fighting. the Chinese forces are directly invading Ukraine shit. Some very fine folks coming your way. Oh, God. Oh, Israel's National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir set to travel to the U.S. on April 20th for a 6-day visit. A source familiar to Ben-Gvir's schedule tells Balaz that the main meeting will be with his U.S. counterpart, Kristi Noem. Following his meetings in Washington, he's expected to travel to New York and Miami to meet with Jewish communities, Chabad representatives, and is set to visit the Ohel of the Lubavitcher Rebbe in Queens. Ugh. Gross. Yeah. Great.
What I've expressed on this show, that there are clearly bots that are anti-Israel and anti-Semitic. That is not to say that people who are critical of Israel don't exist or that.
Tomorrow, South Beach Sessions with Hasan the Hun live at 8 a.m. Oh, yeah, this was a great convo. Yikes. Gross. Also, Dan Le Batard is tall as fuck, dude. Did you talk to Alana Hadid? Yeah, I did. A long time ago. I don't know why she hasn't uploaded it yet. The politics trolls got nothing on sports freaks. Le Batard will be unfazed by your haters. Yeah.
No one is critical of Israel. People certainly are. So my concern was, and I will say this too, speaking about the meeting, how they discussed Iran, the threat, and all of these things, I feel, based on that meeting, and I don't know if this was their intention or otherwise, that they are absolutely clueless as to what is going on in this country. They are too heavily focused on kinetic, on-the-ground Israel issues, which I can understand, I guess. And my attitude, and I'll tell you one thing I said to them, to these officials. In 10 years, your support will be your support from the U.S. will be evaporating, and in 20 years.
Oh no! I'm so sad. Oh no! No, not Israel. My Shayla. Not my Israel, not the support for Israel. No. Oh no. That's so sad. Evidence is piling up. Pew poll finds more than half of U.S. adults, 53%, including 69% of Democrats, now express an unfavorable opinion of Israel, up from 42% in March 2022. 99% of Congress, on the other hand, still very much firmly loyal to the state, to the apartheid state, demonstrating absolute fealty at every step of the way. One of those incidents, in terms of demonstrating absolute fealty, has resulted in this. U.S. to deny visas and green card based on anti-Semitic social media activity, targeting support for Palestinian groups and resistance to Israeli occupation and genocide. Starting today, the U.S. immigration officials will begin combing through social media posts to deny visas and green cards to individuals accused of anti-Semitic activity, including online speech. The new crackdown, announced by the Department of Homeland Security, will affect individuals applying for lawful permanent residence, foreign students, and those affiliated with educational institutions linked to anti-Semitic activity, what the Trump administration labels universities as saw significant anti-genocide protests and pro-Palestinian solidarity on campus. DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin stated, effective immediately, they will enforce all relevant immigration laws to the maximum degree. The guidance cites Trump's new executive orders combating anti-Semitism, additional measures to combat anti-Semitism, and protecting the United States from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats as the legal basis for this crackdown. And by the way, this doesn't mean you're not going to get a fucking visa if you are saying anti-Semitic shit. Not you in the chat, obviously. I mean the royal you. Nazis will very much still get visas unless they are pro-Palestine or unless they've said something mean about Israel. That's what they care about. Very cool stuff overall. Thank you. Chris Kunzler made a video titled The Confused Zionism of Ethan Klein. I really like Chris's stuff on TikTok especially. He's very good. He's very smart. He is a swagged out white boy with a Middle Eastern Studies degree, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, ain't nobody holding back a swagged out white boy, a corked up white boy with a Middle Eastern Studies degree, you know? I don't know if I can watch it right now because I'm tired and I'm going to hang out with my family. So I'm going to end it here, but maybe I'll watch it tomorrow. My brother's here. I'm going to hang out with my brother and my dad, my mom.